What's going on? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Time to go ahead and handle business, man. Sit up here, man. Just had to go ahead and get the office set up here, man. I want to be outside, but it looked like, we had a little breeze in the background, and you know what? Someone's mowing the lawn out there. So I wasn't trying to have that lawn mowing. The other day we had that car alarm went off, and I was like, man, they sitting up here really trying to make us have a ball with this one. What's going on? What's going on? HD Rhodes, baby. Man, I'm telling you, man. Woo! Last night I had trouble going to sleep, man. I went ahead and through Chat GPT for my services, I went ahead and dropped our compensation plan for this incredible, and like I like to call it, the #1 platform of 2025. But, come on now. Man, I put that thing in Chat GPT, man, and it started spitting out numbers. I started using it just like an assistant. I was like, okay, well, go ahead and draw out this compensation plan and let me know how much money is made in each factor, man. Let me know what's going on, how much money I get paid in each generation, 1 through 10. And then, man, it started doing this thing, man. My eyes started getting so big. And by the time it was done breaking down the various different income streams available with this platform, man, I was like, man, I don't know how I'm supposed to sleep tonight, man. I went ahead and got on a live, and, man, I looked like I was just like, I couldn't sleep. But my mind was racing. I finally got to sleep sometime around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Woke up bright and early this morning on fire, man. As you seen, I was out there just getting my run on, man. And, man, I'll tell you, man, there ain't nothing like having a dream, man, to keep you up all day. There ain't nothing like having a dream that just gives you man, it's better than a vitamin. I'm telling you, man, you got a dream, man. You got energy, you got focus, you got goals, man. You feel like just knocking out push-ups, knocking out pull-ups, and just running around. It's like, whoa, man, you don't know what you're going to do next, man. But I thank God for this opportunity, man. I don't feel like I'm 50 years old, man. And I just thank God for that, man. He gave me that life, that vitality, man. He gave me, that energy, man. And, man, I need it, man. I was out there playing soccer and throwing a football with my 6-year-old son and my 12-year-old daughter yesterday, man. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, man. So let's get it started. Let's get it started. Come on, you know how we do it. You know how we do it. Man, you might as well call this a podcast, baby. Every day at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, live and direct. HD Rhodes is going to go on and bring you the content that's going to set you free. HD Rhodes is here to teach you how to monetize your gifts and dreams. Man, I'm telling you, the good Lord put a dream inside you. He put a vision inside you. He put a gift and talents inside you. And if you're not using it, man, what are you going to do at the end of the day, man? What are you going to do when time's up? There's many people who didn't wake up today, man. Many people didn't wake up today. You know what? You're blessed to wake up today. That was God's gift to you. But what you do with this day, today, is your present back to God. That's why we call it the present day. It's a gift you give God what you do in this day. And with this day, I'm telling you, man, I want to bless my Lord and Savior and use the gift that he gave me right here, baby. Right here, all heart, man, sit up here just spreading the word, spreading the gospel. And what's the gospel, the good news? Man, it don't matter if you're poor. It don't matter if you've been passing over opportunity repeatedly. This is a new day. This is a new opportunity for you to be able to change all that, man. Okay, what we want to talk about is, what most people sitting up here right now at work, man, and they're miserable. They ain't happy. They're not living their dream. They're going to work for money, man. And you know what? That's not a good thing, man. If you're not going to work and you're not living your dreams, you're not living your goals, if you're not living your destiny, if you're not living with passion, what are you doing? You understand? People pay people to go ahead and do things top notch at the highest level. Okay? People don't want to see you just going by, man. You're just going and just doing just enough to not get fired and working for a job that's paying you just enough to keep you coming back. Man, what kind of deal is that, man? Come on, man. You got 24 hours in a day. God only gave you a set amount of time on this earth, man. You get to look at the stars. You got to enjoy breathing the air, man. He gave you strong arms, strong body, man. Come on. Not everybody got that, man. I got to wear contacts, man. I've had to wear contacts ever since I finally found out, man, that they had contacts, so I didn't have to keep wearing them thick glasses I used to wear. Hey, man, I know everyone in middle school and elementary school can tell them. Go on and tell them. H.D. Rhodes used to wear them thick glasses, man. Man, I'll tell you, man, 50 years old, man, I thank God for technology, because the way my vision is now, man, them glasses would be looking like Coke bottle glasses if it wasn't for the technology. But what's my point, man? Y'all got to have passion, man. You got to have passion, man. God said in his word is spirit and his word is life. And I'm here to breathe life into your dreams. Breathe life back into the vision that God gave you. Man, if you had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you be doing different? Would you still be working on what you're doing? Would you still be taking direction from the person you're still taking direction to? Would you be fired up in the morning when you wake up? Or would you have to hit that alarm clock like 10 times? Man, I remember what it was like having a job that I didn't enjoy, but I needed that job because I had bills to pay. I had children and mouths to feed. I remember what it was like having to get up knowing that I was going to be going and driving truck. You know, the best part of driving truck is I got to listen to whatever I wanted to in the truck. Then they got, GPS, they got AI, Then I had to go one step further. Okay, I got earbuds. Now what y'all gonna do? Come on, man. That ain't no way to live. Man, the most excited part about my day was getting out, being able to meet my customers, being able to talk to my clients. As you see, man, I get joy being able to talk to people, love on people, meet new people. And that was probably the only reason that kept me driving truck all them years, man. That and the fact that I have bills to pay. But when God blessed me to have Jerome Majette, shout out to Jerome Majette, man, he's one of the best friends a brother can have, man, called me up and said, HD, man, you finished with that book? I said, man, I finished that book 12 years ago. He goes, man, I got a platform, man, you gotta go on and put this on. I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be teaching, a value-added course in that platform. And you know what, man, one thing led to another, man, and I'm gonna just tell you flat out, I was in a position between a rock and a hard place. I said, Jerome, after a week or so, I said, hey, Jerome, man, I gotta talk to you, man. You know where you're going to be teaching, man? Can you do me a favor, man? I want you to see this platform that you want me to put this book on, man. Because, what you're saying sounds good, but I just don't see how I'm going to be able to make a living just from selling this book I wrote 12 years ago. Even if you help me finish getting the editing done and you help me finish getting the graphics, the graphic design work done to put the cover, I just don't understand how I'm going to make that money. So what Jerome did was the smartest thing he could have done because it changed my life. I'm telling you, thank you, Lord, for Jerome Majette. Rome, baby. Love you, man. He invited me to see this platform. What I seen absolutely set my hair on fire. As you see, my feet have been floating. I ain't been able to come back since down to earth, man. Because what I seen is an opportunity to be able to help my friends, my family, my loved ones, my colleagues, my neighbors, man. Come on, what you talking about? My roommates, man. To be able to learn how to monetize the goals, the dreams, the gifts that our Lord Jesus Christ planted in their heart before he put them down on this beautiful earth, man. Come on, man. And by them plugging into this platform, they have an opportunity, man, to live the life of their dreams. Not just happiness and satisfaction because they're doing work that they love, but being a blessing, not just sitting there reveling in success. That's success. Hey, man, that's selfish. But having an opportunity to go over to something we like to call significance, where they're giving of themselves, man, that's where real joy comes from, man. I don't know about you, but I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't wait till Christmas because I was like, man, what's Santa Claus going to bring me, man? Am I going to get that new Sega Genesis? Before it was the Atari 2600. Then I remember when it was the Super Nintendo. Come on, baby. Who remember them days you couldn't sleep before Christmas? But that's how I feel every day. You know why? Because I can't wait to see who the Lord's going to bless me to meet. Who the Lord's going to bless me to be able to talk to them, to find out what's their superpower, man. What's their dream? What's their goal, man? If they had all the time and all the money in the world, how would they live different? And then the Lord blessing me to go ahead and peel back this opportunity, man, like a banana, layer by layer, until their eyes come over and they realize that, you know what they've always wanted to do. They can now get paid to do it. And they can get paid even more when they share it with the world. Man, I'm telling you, man, it don't get no better than that. Stop trading the time for dollars, man. People say, I'm not a salary. I'm a corporate person. That's all right. You got 24 hours a day, man. 24 hours a day. And if you're not doing what God put in your heart, you know what? That's probably why you be drinking. Oh, I'm sorry. HD needs to get off the pulpit right now. I'm going to tell you the reason why most people are doing drugs, the reason why most people are drinking alcohol, I'm going to say it right now, is because they're sitting up here trying to drown their sorrows in the fact they're not living their dreams. But if they had a dream and a goal, which they had access to a vehicle, and that's what this is, it's a vehicle to be able to live your dreams, man, they would be so fired up, man. They would be more fired up than me. Case in point, go online and download Matthew Plant, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, Plant, P-L-A-N-T-E. Matthew Plant right now is living his dream. Man, 2 weeks ago, man, today, I was blessed to be able to baptize him. He came out the water. The next day, we went to church, and we were praying and worshiping and serving the Lord and just singing his praise. And the Lord told me to pray over and ask him to put the Holy Spirit on him. And I asked, Lord, to put your Holy Spirit on this man in the name of Jesus. And when we left that church, Matthew Plant ain't never been the same. He's been on fire. He's been releasing cut after cut, music after music. He's been producing music, editing music like never before. And that's the power that you got available when you start walking out your dream, man. When you start working this job that you're just barely getting by. You go, HD, but I need the money. Hey, you know what the beautiful thing about this platform is? You can work it on the side while you still got a full-time job. And in a quick, fast, and in a hurry, I guarantee you, when you start working your goals and your dreams with this platform, it's going to supersede the amount of money you make in your job. You say, why? How do I know that? Because it's like this, man. Most people who are working every day in a job are trading time for dollars, okay? Let's just talk about the nightmare. We talked about the dream. They're trading their time for dollars. And you know what they are? They're facing 4 income drains. Number 1 is income tax, okay? If you have a job, that means you have a T4 in Canada, a W2 in the United States. Every time you get paid, the first thing they do is they do just like this, man. Just like this. Oh, man. HD's excited. It's time to do visual. Here's your check. And the first thing that happens when you get paid is the government takes half. Now, that's what you got left to go out and pay your bills and live on, man. And then you know what happens at the end of the year? What you got left? You got that little bit of check left. You know what they say? Oh, you know what? By the April 1st, you know y'all got to pay taxes. And you're like, man, I made $100,000 a year. No, you didn't. The government took half. You got $50,000. Then you try to budget it. But the little bit of money you got left now, man, they expect you to pay taxes. And then people start trying to figure out, man, how they got to rob Peter to pay Paul to pay the taxes, man. Because you know what? The more money they make, the more money the government takes. Why? Because you're in the wrong tax system. There's 2 tax systems in North America, man. Okay? Let me tell you how the second tax system works, okay? Thank you, Jesus. Woo! Today is like show and tell. I feel like I'm in elementary school today. You know how it works in business? In business, you get that same $100,000 when you get paid. Ooh, that's right. Government lets you keep that full $100,000 check. And then what happens is you spend a little of it, and you spend a little of it, and you spend a little of it. Okay? Now, let's say you got $40,000 left over because you spent $60,000, man, exercising your right as a business owner in the pursuit of making a profit, in the pursuit of living your dreams. Now, you're going to find yourself a business tax specialist. I ain't saying H&R Block, man. You're going to find you a specialist who works with business owners. And what they're going to do is they're going to show you how you can write off your phone, part of the square footage of your house if you're running a home office. They're going to teach you how, you know what, over 50 cents, if you drive at 50 cents of every dollar, you're going to be able to get back for the miles that you drive in the U.S., 55%. Okay? 55% is in 55 cents for every dollar you spend on gas. You're going to get back for every kilometer you drive for business. You know, your hair. You got to get your hair did, your fingernails done, you women. Come on, man. That ain't cheap. Imagine being on the right off your taxes because you have to uphold a certain professional image. Come on. Where are you now? If you like HD Rhodes, you got a signature hat. Thank God I'm getting ready to get one that says HD. You got special gear you're going to wear. Hey, brand your own gear. We got merch here too. I'll get to that later. Guess what? Now what the government's going to say is, you know what? We know that when you filed your paperwork for taxes, you made $100,000. But because you're a business owner and an entrepreneur, we're only going to tax you. That's right, people. They're only going to tax you on the 40,000 you got left. Okay? Now, if there's nothing else you learned today, man, that alone should be enough for you to follow your dreams and your goals, man, to start your own business. But it gets better, okay? Because you got interest. You got interest on your car note, interest on what? Your house note. You got interest on your school loan. That's why it's called interest rate. That's the rate that you're going to pay on top of the lump sum of money you took out. Okay? Outside of that, you got insurance. You got to pay insurance on your car, on your house, on your travel, on your dog. Oh my goodness, you know you got to pay insurance for your medical. If not, even in Canada, you got deductibles. And if not, whoo, Lord, it's going to be rough, man. Okay? But the fourth one is the biggie. And the fourth one is the reason why most people my age, between 45 and 50, when their kids leave and they go to college and they start their life, why they downsize their house. It's not because the fact that, you know what, they have empty nest syndrome. Oh, we're going to travel more. That all sounds great. But I guarantee you, if you had a house that looked like you were on MTV Cribs, you want to be trying to get rid of that. You understand what I'm saying? The truth is, because inflation doubles the price of cost of living every 10 years, that means today, if you graduated from Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Carnegie Mellon, if you graduated from McGill or UBC and you're excited because you got a brand new job and you're making $100,000 a year, by 2035, you got to be making $200,000. By 2045, you got to be making $400,000. And by 2055, after 30 years of working at your job, are we starting to say, hello, I hear you, HD. You need to be making over $800,000. Now, that's more money than the average CEO makes in the United States of America. In fact, when I was up last night, I went ahead and I ChatGPT'd and Googled that. The average CEO in the United States of America, you know what their salary is with all their benefits and bonuses? $725,000 a year. In Canada, $206,000 a year. Now, I just got done saying that what you're going to need is you got to keep up with inflation. If you make $100,000 a year this year, that means in 30 years, you got to be making $800,000. Now, I don't think there's too many jobs that's going to be able to keep up with that. And so that's another reason why you want to have a business. If you have a business of your own, then guess what's going to happen? Your services and your products in which you sell for your business or you supply for your business are going to be able to keep up with inflation because the cost of your product can stay in tune with the cost of living. Okay, so if you go from 100 customers to 200 customers to 300 customers, you are literally doubling and tripling your income because it's keeping up. Okay, you're doubling and tripling your lifestyle because now you're able to keep up with the cost of living. So one of the most important things you need to understand is the difference between a liability and asset. And the reason why you need to understand that is because a lot of people are poor, not only because they're passing over opportunity repeatedly, they're also poor because they keep spending their money on liabilities. Okay. In Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in which I read 30 years ago, the first thing that I learned in that book is the difference between an asset and a liability. Assets put money in your pocket, kind of like a business, kind of like an investment. Liabilities take money out of your pocket, kind of like, you know, going on vacation, kind of like going to the concert, kind of like going to the ball game, kind of like buying that car, kind of buying that house. You understand? If it's not an investment, then guess what? That's money gone you're not getting back. And so what I want to talk to you about today is the #1 business platform there is in 2025. And what it is it's an asset. It's something that's going to take you from being an employee, okay, to a self-employed person. Okay, that's step one. Owning your own business, because you're going to be able to take advantage of the taxes. But now to be able to get your money back, to be able to create financial freedom, as Robert Kiyosaki taught in not just Rich Dad, Poor Dad, in the second book, Cashflow Quadrant, he said you now need to get on the right side of Cashflow Quadrant to be able to get your time back. And to be able to do that, now you need to go from being self-employed to expanding your business to have a corporation. Now, a corporation has people making money for them, right? And then you want to go from there to be an investor where you now have money working for you. So now as a corporation, you have people working for you, and you, as an investor, you have money for working for you. And now when you're in that situation, now you're able to enjoy your life, do the things you want to do. And guess what? It all starts here today with a platform like Vibe. Now, Vibe is a company that was put together by two dynamic sisters, twin sisters, Megan and Reagan Lynch. Megan Lynch was an English teacher at one of the most prestigious high schools in the United States of America. She had a heart, man. And she thought, you know what? One of the things she wanted to do for her students was she wanted to give them an opportunity to learn entrepreneurship. Now, people say, why would she want to do that? Because you know what? There were some problems that she noticed that was going on that was affecting some of the students in which she taught. You know, like, you know what? In the urban lifestyle, that there was kids who were losing their friends, their family members and stuff because of drugs or gang activities. And you know, she wanted to create a solution. So she created something called SOS, which means Save Our Sons. It was an after-school entrepreneurship program. She started that with her twin sister Reagan, and you know what? Everything was going great. And then they decided to go ahead and write a grant in which they got approved for $100,000 from the government. And then what happened was when the school got the hands on the money, they redistributed it elsewhere other than to that program. When Megan went ahead and brought it up, she was seriously passionate about what she was doing for the children, to be able to bless them. Unfortunately, they let her go, and she realized that at that point, the only way she was going to be able to do what was in her heart, to be able to help these young men and young women to be able to learn entrepreneurship, was to be able to go into a business for herself. So she went into direct sales, because as Robert Kiyosaki says, you know what? Direct sales is one of the #1 way for you to be able to go from step 1 to done in a 2 to 5 year plan. And the reason is because if you understand what's happened over the trends of time, we've went from an agricultural society to the Industrial Revolution, which means it went from 100% of the money and the wealth that most people had used to be in the land. Now, when they went into the transition, 90% of the population got rid of their farmlands, gave up their land. They moved to the inner city to be able to make more money working in factories or working in industries. You know, perfect example is a lot of people who moved to Motor City, working for Ford, okay, working for Chrysler, working for Jeep, working for all these auto industries. Now, also because of that, you have people who were working on building trains with the advent of that technology, in which products were being shipped from the West Coast to the East Coast and vice versa. As the technology continued, we had logistics companies that had, you know, their semi trucks that was going to have moving products. And as we went into the streamlined distribution phase, we had network marketing companies working with major corporations to streamline the distribution, cutting out the middleman. So what we started to see is downsize of corporations. We've seen, you know what, the middleman being cut out in a lot of the chain of distribution of your products that you're used to. And you know what? There was a lot of people who took advantage of that. And so we've seen a lot of people who, in a matter of 12 to 24 to 24 months to 5 years, they're able to become millionaires. Now, as technology continued to change, we've seen that no longer did you have corporations with 100 operators answering the phone. With the computer systems and with Microsoft and with the Intel Pentium chip, you know what? Technology kept getting better and better. All of a sudden, you didn't need 100 office employees answering the phone. You only needed like 5 to 10. Okay. Now you look at what's happened. We went from that to the .com era. Okay. And what happens is we're seeing people like Jeff Bezos, who understood technology, could see where things were going. It's kind of like a surfer. He could see where that wave is coming. And he goes, you know what? If I just position myself at the right place at the right time, I'm going to be able to ride that wave into just prosperity. And that's what Jeff Bezos did. He bet on himself. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. You know, he bet on himself. And what he bet was that he was going to be able to build the #1 largest distribution company of books with Amazon.com. Even though not Starbucks, but Barnes and Nobles and Chapters had a head start. And they were connected to companies like Starbucks around, you know, all the world. You know, on every corner, on every block, in every city, you see a Starbucks, you see a Barnes and Noble, you see a Starbucks, you see a Chapters. But Jeff Bezos was able to overcome them and become one of the #1 distributors of books. Why? Because of technology. www.amazon.com. Point, click. People were able to buy their books without having to go to the bookstore because they're trading time for dollars. Most people went from working 10 hours a day to 12 hours a day, from going to have 1 job to 2 jobs to 3 jobs. People are driving Uber cars, Uber Eats, skip the dishes. Come on, you understand what time it is. A lot of people either have money and no time, or they had time and no money. And because the technology keeps going and people having to work more and more trying to keep up the cost of living because of inflation, it's brought us to where we are today. Where now, as technology continues to get better and better, we went into the social media, okay, revolution. It's an era where people are able to literally go from zero to hero, making millions of dollars, become a household name, become a social media influencer overnight. Okay, within a matter of literally from 3 to 6 months, they're able to be millionaires. Compare that to, you know, a couple decades ago when you had, you know, the Industrial Revolution, streamlined distribution, and people who got in the middle, they were able to make millions with a 2 to 5 year plan. So as you see, time speeding up, being able to make great wealth is speeding up. And you know what? Now we're getting ready to go into a new age. And as we're going into a new age, there's going to be new billionaires created. Just like Gates, okay? Just like Bezos, just like the Rockefellers, just like the Waldens, okay, just like the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, and the Mellons, there's going to be new names that are going to be recognized because they got themselves in the middle of a huge trend that's about to take over named AI. And as AI now is allowing someone like me who's 50 years old to be able to use this technology, to be able to create videos, to be able to create social media content, to be able to post on 4 different platforms, now you have an opportunity to live your dreams with this company we call Vibe. Okay, so let me talk to you more about Vibe, man. Let's go ahead and talk more about Vibe, man. You got to understand, man, this company is just super incredible, okay? Everything they put together, today I'm going to go ahead and give you, some numbers and understand that you can go to thevibe.io and you'll be able to go ahead and look at the compensation plan in which I went ahead, I screenshot and put in ChatGPT, and it blew my mind the amount of money that it said that if I just help enough people live their dreams, live their goals, plug them into a system like Vibe, man, it would be amazing the amount of money that I would be able to help those families. I'd be able to create, allowing those families to now have the picture, just like that picture on my wall of Grandma and Grandpa, okay, Arnold. Grandma and Grandpa Udell, Grandma and Grandpa Platt, Grandma and Grandpa Midget, because they stake their claim right before the huge AI revolution, and they were able to change their family tree financially for 3, 4, 5 generations to come because they tied into a platform like Vibe. So the question I have for you is, what's stopping you? The one thing that's stopping most people? Fear. Fear and wrong association. A lot of people have lack of ideas. A lot of people have ideas, but they're scared to share because the people who they're around don't support them. Their friends, their family, every time they come up with a bright idea, they're like, that'll never work. And they'll be like, you're not smart enough. You know what you need to do is you need to connect yourself with men and women who think like you, man. One thing my mom used to always tell me, birds of a feather flock together. And guess what? It's either blessing you or cursing your life, man. Maybe sometimes all you need is a change in association. So here's the thing. You have an opportunity to associate with over 70,000 entrepreneurs who opted in onto this business platform that's going to allow you to be able to monetize your dreams and goals. Okay? I understand you might have a lack of time management. Okay? Guess what? We can help you with that. We have entrepreneurs. We have educators, we have content creators, we have successful men and women from over 160 countries. And their whole goal on this platform is to work together to create a community of education, business, and technology to be able to help their friends, family, and colleagues to be able to accomplish their goals and dreams. Okay? I already talked about there's 70,000 entrepreneurs who opted in. You go HD, well, what's the vision? The vision was to build a global community that empowers individuals to break barriers, achieve real results, the people, the product, the person. Come on, the purpose, the process, the partnership. The profits are outrageous. Okay? The mission was to inspire people like you to go out there and live your dreams. We're going to supply you the mentorship. We're going to supply you even venture capitalists if you need money to get started. We even have, a section in Vibe that's going to help give you the mentality of a champion, the mentality of an entrepreneur to be able to accomplish your dreams and goals. Imagine being able to discover, develop, and demonstrate with a passion that the vision and gifts that God gave you, it is going to bless not only you, but your family because you tie into the right association on the right platform. Imagine how that would change your life and your family tree for the next 5 to 6 generations. So what we're talking about is Vibe created an ecosystem. They got 7 powerful pathways to bless you. They started off with Vibe Vote. Okay, the Vibe Vote was it was an entrepreneurship, financial literacy academy. Okay, and that what they were going to do at that academy is they were going to start teaching crypto. Okay, they were going to start teaching DeFi, crypto, Forex. They have live classes. Then they even have them recorded. So at night you could go ahead and watch it if you missed it. They're even going to teach sports betting. People like sports betting. They're teaching that in college these days. You better go on and check your kids' courses and electives you signed up for. But you know what? What Vi said is, if they teach that in college, then we want to be responsible and teach it. So these college kids are learning from professionals and they're not losing all their money. You're going to be able to get market insights when it comes to financial market, personal development, AI and marketing, faith-based academy as well. The great thing also is they have Vibe Fitness. You know, a lot of people are spending a lot of money for Beachbody online and stuff, but imagine a platform that's all encompassing, that you can go ahead and get your financial education. You can go ahead and get your fitness. You can go ahead and work out with personal trainers, you know, live, or you can even watch the recordings if it's not at a convenient time. They're going to have a nutrition plan for you. Come on, what are we talking about, people? They got Vibe Global. If you're a content creator, an educator, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business, if you created your own value-based, okay, educational course, you go ahead and put it on Vibe Global, like my good friend James down in Dallas. Man, you know what? He's a jazz musician. He plays in jazz clubs. He's played with famous jazz musicians and concerts. He loves music so much, he even plays in his church. And when I brought this opportunity to him, I said, James, if we had 70,000 entrepreneurs who opted in, and they got 100 customers each, and there's 7 million eyeballs on you, you think that you might have 1,000 people who might want to learn from a professional musician? He goes, yeah. I said, all right, so if you charge only $20,000, or if you only charge $20, okay, for your course per month, then that means that you would make $20,000 in your sleep, brother, the first month. If everyone referred one, that'd be $40,000 the second month. If everyone referred one again, that'd be $80,000 the third month. If everyone referred one again, there will be $160,000 my friend James in Dallas, Texas will be able to make in his sleep because he went and joined this particular platform, put his value-added course online on this platform. Now, the great thing is, you know what? They also have networking. They have content. Content creators can go ahead and do the same thing. Branding. They'll be able to go ahead and help you do your branding with Vibe Branding. Okay? You might be a basketball coach. You might, and you know what? You might, instead of running your basketball camps, you know, just in a few places you could travel, what if you ran your basketball camps online? Hello, come on now. Are we talking the same language or what? What if you sell specialty cups in which you make? You know, and you can, I know you might be trying to sell them right now on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, or you might even be trying to do it with Spotify or whatever it's called, you know, Amazon.com. But guess what? The problem, if you have all that online social media access, but you don't have anyone driving traffic to you, man, then you're just spending a lot of money. The great thing with Vibe, okay, what we do with Vibe is they actually will be able to bless you with taking a class in which my good friend Jerome Jet is going to be the teacher. It's called Attraction Marketing. And with that Attraction or Marketing course, he's going to teach you how to go from hunting and trying to find customers to being the hunted. Okay? And the coolest thing is, and once you literally take these courses, say you get everything ready with your business and you're ready to launch, guess what? If you need the money, we got our own Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. It's called Vibe Ventures. And guess what? Then it's time to market it. Guess what? We even got something called Vibe Spotlight. So what we're literally doing is talking about opportunity to go from step one to done. Okay. Now, the cool thing about this company also is we believe in community. And so with Vibe Tribe, you're able to create a community centered around the things that you have interest in, where you're able to network with other professionals from around the world. Last but not least, one of the coolest things I don't want to forget to talk about is if you have your own merch, say you make your own special shirts, your special hats, cups, whatever, you could even sell that to our community on this platform through our Vibe platform, okay? Through Vibe Styles, okay? Vibe literally bought out 40,000 square feet of a warehouse just to be able to help people if they have ideas. And they don't even have the money to get all the materials and all that, but they have the ideas, and they can upload their ideas for a shirt design, hat design, cup design. And guess what? Vibe will go ahead and put all that together, and they'll partner with you. You put the design together, they're willing to partner with you and go ahead, and you know what? They'll go ahead and do the advertising and all that, and you just design it, and guess what? They'll split the profit with you. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a really great deal. Okay, so there's two ways you can participate. Like I said already, number one, you could just be a student. You can go take classes on attraction marketing from my best friend Jerome Jet. Okay, or you can go ahead and take the classes of learning financial literacy. Okay, or the second way you can participate is you could be an entrepreneur who says, you know what, I have dreams, I have goals, and you know what, I just want to be around people who are going to help extract my dreams or goals out and teach me how to monetize it so that I can live the dreams of my life. And that's, you know what, you can do one or the other or both. Okay. Now, here's a great thing. There's 5 ways you get paid with Vibe. I've already told you about one. You know, if you have your own value-added course, you can go ahead and go on Vibe Global and you'll be able to teach that course, okay? The second way, we have a way to get paid. What I like to call is direct sales. Now, a lot of people are confused about direct sales. They go, HD, ain't that a pyramid? I'm sorry. You know what? A pyramid, and the biggest pyramid is what you do in the daytime. It's called a job. See, no one's going to make more money than the CEO. I already told you, the average CEO makes over $725,000 a year. Now, last time I checked, you know what? That's not what the employees who are going down the street working for the CEO make. And guess what? That's not what his supervisor makes. That's not what his manager makes. And that's not what the executives or the regional manager make. See, what happens is the person on top makes all the money, right? And the people lower make less and less and less and less. It's starting to look like a pyramid, right? But we're talking about your job. Isn't that interesting? And there's no way the people on the bottom, there's no way an employee makes more money than his manager. No way that the manager makes more money than his regional manager. There's no way that the regional manager can make more money than the CEO of the company. It's starting to look like a pyramid. Well, the only thing that makes your job legal is because there's a product and a service being an exchange, okay, for money. That's literally the only reason why your job's legal. In fact, it qualifies for 3/4 of the definition of an illegal pyramid if it wasn't for that one fact. Now let's look at direct sales. In direct sales, the great thing is it works like this. You get paid for your performance. So let's say Jerome introduced HD Rhodes to this platform. Okay, and let's say HD Rhodes went out and I introduced James, and James went out and introduced his sister Gisela. Now, if Gisela gets on this platform and she's like, "Oh, girl, I've had my ideas forever." She's like, "I want to design my own purses. I want to design my own hats. I want to design my own clothing." And she came with all these ideas, and you know what? James is like, "Okay, that's cool, man. He's doing his music," but Gisela's just on fire. And she starts telling everyone she knows, and not only does she merchandising all these things through Vi Style, she starts teaching a value-added course because she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna start teaching people how I'm doing this." And now she starts teaching them how she went ahead and created her hats, her gear, her cups, her this and that. Man, all of a sudden she's got more people taking her class. Well, guess what? She's gonna make more money than James. And if HD only goes and talks to 3 people about this, and I just sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I talked to 3 people. I'm going to just sit here and be like kind of a boss at work and see how much money I make. Guess what? James is going to make more money than HD, even though James came under HD. Gisela's going to make more money than James. And guess what? If Jerome only talked to HD and I was the only person he talked to, then guess what? Gisela's going to make more money than everywhere else. That's an inverted pyramid right there. Come on, man. What are we talking about? People say, "Oh, it's a scam, it's a pyramid." I just proved to you direct sales is not a pyramid. Scam, that stands for still confused about money. So let me continue, man. Come on. Now, the way this direct sales thing works is like this. Imagine a gym. Imagine if your gym said, "Look, I go to Fitness World." Say that, you know what? I pay $50 a month to go to Fitness World. Now imagine if Fitness World said, "HD, we're going to give your best friends or any of the people who come into the gym a free membership for 1 week. Now, we're going to make you a deal, HD. They have a good time working out with you, and you guys are high-fiving while you're bench pressing, you're squatting, and you know what? On your off days, because you're so tired from the first 2 workouts, you guys are just in there in the jacuzzi hot tub, and y'all just doing cardio running. Okay, at the end of the 7 days, if that person decides to go ahead and get a gym membership, and they pay the $50 like you, HD, guess what? We're going to go ahead, and we're going to transfer 10 of that $50 in your bank account. Would that be okay? I don't know about you. I'd be like, yeah, heck yeah. I'd be like, man, how many of my friends could I go ahead and introduce to this gym at Fitness World, man? Man, I'd be telling all my friends, man, they got the best pool, the best sauna. Come on, man, they got the best weights, man. They be over there. They be cleaning and everything. You walk in the gym, don't you smell like a gym? You're like, ooh, man, it smells clean, fresh up in here. Come on, are you telling me, man? I'd have 100 of my friends, family, and relatives sitting up there, co-workers at that same Fitness World, man. Because 100 times $10 referral, man, that'd be an extra residual $1,000 a month just because I have friends who want to work out like me. That's all direct sales is. Now, the great thing about this is the company goes and they do the same thing. Every time you refer someone to this platform, you know what? They're going to give you a small piece of what their membership is. Now, the great thing is, you know what, a lot of companies do that. They call it a fast start bonus. But the great thing about this particular company that we call Vibe is, you know what? They pay you every single month that membership is paid. Man, that's incredible. So that means it's not only a one-time, but it gets better. The third way that you get paid, they got what they call a 3x10 matrix. And you know what happens in a 3x10 matrix? Man, it's so incredible. They're literally going to pay you as long as you bring in the first 3 people, and then help them bring in 3, and it goes all the way down 10 levels deep. They're going to pay you $5 a month. They're going to pay you $5 for each one of those people who come in 10 levels deep. So you got 3, and then those 3 got 3, you got 9. They got 9, and they got 3, they got 27. And I'd have to look at my notes to keep going down. But the cool thing about it is by the time you get down 10 levels deep, okay, they'll be basically over 59,049 people. Now times that by $5 and tell me how that would look coming in your bank account. One more time, we'll just call it 60,000 for easy numbers. 60,000 people times $5 is $300,000. That's yourself a little $5 checks coming in. Now, the cool thing, they got 2 other ways you get paid. You get a 100% match on everyone you brought in. So what happens is, the people who you brought in, let's just say the cost of whatever it is to get started. Let's say that the Vibe's going to pay you $40, okay, for everyone that you brought in when they go ahead and pay their membership on this beautiful platform, okay? Now, the cool thing is everyone they brought in, you're going to get paid in $20. Man, do you understand what I'm saying? When you add up the numbers, man, we're looking at over $440,000 a month on the table. And that's on top of the money you make if you go and you start learning how to trade crypto and you go to learn how to trade Forex. That's on top if you start taking some classes from, a real estate professional who might be teaching you how to flip property with all this money you're making. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You literally have an opportunity to be connected with a platform that's going to give you community, support, entrepreneurship, help you go from step 1 to 0, education, not just about money, but business. It's everything you need in one. Man, I'm so excited I could just sit up here and turn this thing off right now, man. But that's what I want to talk to you about today, man. This is the #1 business platform and the #1 opportunity there is. And Megan Lynch and Reagan Lynch, her twin sister, got together with a gentleman who's a multimillionaire and almost a billionaire in technology to put this thing together. Because like I said, over 10 years ago, they put together a program that they want to teach entrepreneurship called Save Our Ship. Well, guess what? In 2025, the new name of that company is called Vibe, VYB, Visualizing Your Breakthrough. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to get back with the person who invited you to this live presentation. And you know what? Have them get you on the phone with another leader who can go ahead and answer your questions. And if you're ready to go ahead and get the free link, get signed up today. And you know what? I'd just like to say congratulations, okay? I'm HD Rhodes. I'm out. God bless you.